This is the video. Quavo and Streety. I want to know what you make of this video, chat. Okay? I'm going to play it. I want to read the comments. Actually, let me make this a little bit bigger on y'all screen. Hold on. Make this a little bit bigger for y'all. Yeah, I can see it. Tell me, what is the takeaway? Actually, you know what? There's no audio in this. Let me narrate it. Let's play from the beginning. Okay. So, chat, this video starts at a very awkward position. By the way, make no mistake about this. Streety's team sent this to TMZ 100%. If this video had existed before, it would have been shopped. Quavo and Streety would have knew, if they were still together at the time, that it was being shopped and how to handle it. I don't think that Quavo had no idea it was coming out. I personally believe that this video came out because after the breakup and some of Streety's antics, some people started to look at Streety and say, you ain't had to do all that. You were kind of wildin'. Quavo didn't look too bad. And here's the thing about women. Women bask in being the victim. They don't like when people got split opinions. Nah, I agree with her. And then some people say, nah, he's a victim. Women like where it's universally, they're the victim. So all the shit talking they do instantly goes to a lot of boo-hooing and crying. Trust me. So I believe after the recent happenings that shit, even though we over here look at Quavo like, Quavo, you do look a little weird with this and third, but bro, you should know what type of girl she, blah, blah, blah. I think Streety's team had to put this out to contextualize the relationship with Quavo and also paint him as an abuser. Except, and I'm going to ask my chat this, do y'all think he's an abuser from the video we are watching? I'll play it right now. Let's start from the get-go. There's a bag that is right here. It's marked Call of Duty. It's sitting on an elevator. Okay? She grabs it. Quavo looks to stop her. So let's watch this. She grabs it. I don't know if she was trying to take it away from the elevator. I don't know if Quavo was loading his stuff onto the elevator to leave. But it looks like she's removing it from the elevator. I'm only commenting what I'm visibly seeing. He looks to try to grab the bag. He's kind of tussling. Look like he's preventing her from leaving. I'll give you that. Look like also she might be trying to throw it, and he's desperately trying to not have her have control of the bag and do anything with it. Also, let's keep in mind, right here, which you can't really see, and also I don't think this video does a good job of showing. I may have to go to the TMZ website. She swings at him. Now, we live in a woman's world, chat. A woman could spit on you, stab you, shoot you, slap you, break your shit, whatever. Your reaction has to be none. I spoke to many women this week while discussing this incident, and I said, imagine if that bag, which I think a lot of people are assuming is Quavo's, it says Call of Duty, unless maybe she's into that. Imagine it has some prized item or something that Quavo owned. And for whatever reason, we don't care what the argument was, she grabbed it, was either trying to take it, trying to break it, or trying to remove it from his possession while it seems he's trying to go somewhere. What is the appropriate measure to handle that situation? Ask many women this. If I have a bag with all my valuables and a woman grabs it because I placed it down, they grab it and they look to throw it away or break it, or is that person an abuser if he tries to stop that person from doing so? You'd be very surprised at the answers I got. Some people said, doesn't matter. You never touch a woman, period. Some people say, let her do what she wants, handle it in the aftermath. And some people say, well, no, you could defend yourself, but you have to be gentle with her. Very complicated, very complex answers. I want you guys to be the judge as we're watching this shit. Look, I think it's at the very beginning. Look, this video doesn't show everything. They were into it already. Right here, she's swinging at Quavo. Look, she's swinging at him. By the way, one thing I realized, women unilaterally, while always talking all that shit, they think swinging at a man is par for the course. You're supposed to know how to handle that. So when a woman swings at you, you have to be equipped and trained with Muay Thai, like Jay-Z, to duck, block, like evade somehow, but you could strike back. She swung at him. Again, I could pull up the TMZ footage, the full one, because mine's a slightly cropped. I didn't even notice it when it was cropped. But right here, she swings at him. Let's look. Look, he backs up. Let's go back to the motion. He backs up. Why does he back up? You'll see her hand come over like this. Look. Right there. She swings. He backs up. She looks to the right. That's the case. She goes to grab it. At that point, I don't know what's in the case. I don't know what her intention was, but he seems to be concerned that she has possession of the case. He rushes back in. He tries to kind of hold her. By the way, I'm also looking for any instance where it looks like he struck her. He's trying to hold her, trying to wrestle that case away from her. He's holding on to her arm because she switched it to the other arm. She's clearly trying to go that way. He's trying to keep her this way. Looked like she was about to throw it. It's only in one hand at that point. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure we don't miss a fucking beat. Right here. And he pulls her back in. And it gets to the ground. And I ain't gonna lie. It's like a fumbled football. The way that nigga got in there and used his shoulders. You know Quavo, a D1 athlete. He got that fumble straight from Streety. Now he secured possession of it. And here's the thing why I was concerned. And this is why I advise no male to ever even when you know, sometimes your girl be like, oh, she hood and she like play fight with her nigga. Don't play fight with a female. If you're asking me, Quavo did not strike her yet, didn't hit her, didn't mush her, didn't do anything that would hurt her. They were tussling, absolutely. He did use his weight to try to wrestle away the item. But from here on out, Streety went from being aggressive to now being, you hurt me. She's on the ground and doesn't get up. And then Quavo, who was just involved in the situation, has to then try to figure out, like, he's trying to clean it up. Look, she's on the ground. She won't get up. Look, he's looking at her, not trying to touch her. He's probably telling her, yo, get up, get up. He's looking at this item that's in front of him. He maintains the whole time to keep the item right here. And at this point, he sees the security camera. My bad. The elevator opens to some floor, or it opens to the same floor, who knows. There's a guy standing there. By this guy's stance, I'm assuming this thing is white. Because nobody stands like this with their feet wide open with their hands in their pockets and this guy's white. That's facts. Quavo knows the camera's recording. He's probably trying to check on her, but also probably not trying to touch her. He grabs his bag, and what I could assume is his case. He moves it, sees she's not getting moving or whatever, opens the elevator again, or sends it to a floor, and then he grabs both items. The door opens, and he tries to put the case to hold the door that she could leave. She eventually gets up. She's about to get up. By the way, he hasn't touched her, but it looks like he's communicating with her. He hasn't touched her since she fell. She picks herself up by holding the railing, and she's kind of limping, and she kind of walks out. She doesn't say anything to him. Okay, we can pause. She doesn't say anything to him, and that's all we know. Is Quavo an abuser? You see, this is a very tough conversation to have. Because the law of the land says you should never be physical with a woman, which I kind of agree with. But also, it gets conflicting when it says, again, I'm hypothetically discussing these things. I don't know all the facts. I'll give you an example. Outside of probably like 4 humans in my life, There's nothing that matters to me more than my cars. Now, if a girl, any girl, was trying to fucking fuck up my Lamborghini, got a pickaxe, about to go crazy on it, and I grab her, trying to stop her. And at that point, when I grab her, trying to pull her away, get the axe out of her hand or whatever the case is, if at that point she like falls and then she's like, "Oh, you hurt me," did I abuse her? So I guess the question I'm asking here, let me be very direct. Did Quavo try to restrain her or did he abuse her? Because I think there's a very fine line these days. I think people say you should never put hands on a woman. But there used to be a saying that says you could, don't hit a woman, but if she's trying to hit you or she's wilding out, you could try to restrain her. I think in 2021, restraint is seen as abuse. Preventing her from breaking your shit or doing bodily harm to other people or doing or fucking up or damaging whatever you got, prevention is almost seen as assault. Quavo didn't hit her, didn't punch her, didn't mush her. He did wrestle with her for a bag. But that's where the conversation comes in. Is any, like, again, I'm asking questions. I don't even want to make a determination. Is what he did abusive? The reason why I won't answer it is that for the same reason why Saweetie put this out to be an excuse for abuse. Not an excuse, but like an example of abuse. Again, I'm not going to defend this situation, and I'm not going to put any indictment on what happened there. You guys be the judge. But I will talk about the situation overall. After seeing what Quavo is going through, why are these rappers wifing these chicks? Y'all tell me. Why? Streety put out a video that basically, in her only reason of putting this out is because people were not really killing Quavo for cheating on her. They were actually saying, "Yo, wait, why are you doing all this extra shit?" All right, cool. Y'all gonna defend him? Bet. Now I'm gonna drop the video showing that he abuses me. A woman is usually the downfall of a lot of successful men, and I'm not gonna defend Quavo's action in that situation. But it also brings me to my man Flight. Flight, I don't know if you ever see my videos or if you ever hear me, but let me give you some advice. Advice that I probably should have given myself and I should have took myself a long time ago. There's a lot of great men and there's a lot of talented individuals who are male that are inevitable to get ruined by a woman. And usually the commonality in all of those situations is that love blinds you from the truth. Flight, if you see this, I'm speaking from experience. Let me give you some more insight. I've seen a video recently where Flight was, if you don't know, he was with this girl. She's kind of toxic. And I've been with toxic females. Trust me, I don't think no one matches the toxic level of someone I've been with. But in that toxicity, I think his whole fan base was saying, yo, whatever, you should get rid of her, blah, blah. And I think he came back around and said, no, I fuck with her. I love her. Like, she makes me happy. I'm going to stay with her. I'm going to just give him a warning and a cautionary tale. And this is from experience. As a black male who's an entertainer, I learned this because I remember people told me this and I didn't want to believe it. When a woman starts to throw out certain type of verbiage, saying you abused her, say you did this, say you did that, irreconcilable. It's over. That's my advice to Flight Reacts. I think the girl he's with mentioned something and called him an abuser, basically saying he puts hands on her. You're a black man in America. The game is over. I'm telling you that now because I've seen things about myself when I didn't want to acknowledge certain things and they were non-retractable. I guess that's what I could say. Not because you stay with Shorty means she could retract it. Every time they think about you and Shorty, they're going to remember what she said. That you beat her ass. Just remember that. So I'm not saying it's true or not. I'm just saying not because y'all stay together means that people think that that wasn't said. I'll leave that alone. It's not my problem. I've gone through mine. Flight has to go through his. And I've always said in life, experience is the best teacher. It's the only one that gives you the lesson after it gives you the test. I could never tell him anything that he'll listen to me. But he'll go through it just like we all have. Yeah. Returning back to the streety situation. I'm really wondering how the industry's gonna take this one.